Hi, welcome to my channel. I have decided that I'm going to do one of those sitting in your car talking about the world sort of videos. Unfortunately, I don't have a car, so this is the best I can get. So, cup of coffee, and it doesn't matter what time I get up. Next door are going to be banging and crashing around. So, although it's 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning, next door are banging and crashing around. So that's just one of those things, which is why I was going to sit and do this in my car. Unfortunately, didn't quite make it. So the sad story is, July, I was looking after a young lady. She was 14, and she was on an emergency foster placement. It was only for a week. It wasn't anything long term. Didn't really know her. Lovely, but very troubled. So I don't hold her responsible as such, but that's the reason I have no car. So this young lady came to stay with me. Everything was going really well, or so I thought. And then one night, you could tell that she was going to run and that she'd been making plans. But she was very good, very secretive, and kept up the sort of facade that she was going to stay. She was only here for 2 weeks, as that was the plan, that it was going to be for 2 weeks. But it ended up being just over a week. So initially she was only here for a week, and then 2 days into it she decided she was going to run off, and that meant that she decided that she was going to steal my car. So that's what she did, which is why I'm sitting here. Not only did she steal my car, because she's 14, and I have to admit I did not give her permission to steal my car at 1:30 in the morning at all, ever. Even though many people, including the insurance company, I totally get it. It's just one of those things. Ask me if I gave her permission. No, I didn't give her permission to take the keys out of my bag, run down, steal my car, and smash it into 2 other cars and a brick wall. Totally demolished the brick wall. It is non-existent, and every time I walk past it, she didn't get very far, not surprisingly. Not sure how many driving lessons she's had at 14. Not something I was expecting her to do. Well, you say that, but that was my pride and joy. It was my source of income, and it was my source of freedom, independence. It meant I could go and see my friends, and it meant that I could maybe do some stupid video about something. But that's all gone now. And in effect, because she smashed it up so badly, the insurance company wrote it off. So 2 days after she smashed my car to bits and tried to run away, I lost my car. It's gone forever now. It's probably been sold, because the damage was extensive enough, but I don't know. It looked like she might have bent the chassis, and it was my car. I had had it since new. It was nobody else's. I was still paying for it. And yeah, several £1,000s worth of damage she did. So unfortunately for me, she decided that at 2 o'clock in the morning she was going to run off. She was going to steal my car. Whether she decided that, or whether it was one of those things that I had sat up at night, I was becoming more and more worried about my safety. And I wasn't going to bed. So I didn't go to bed until about 12 o'clock. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I was woken up by the police outside my door. Not my front door. No, that would have been bad enough at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was a very hot summer's day, and let's just say I did not have that much on. So, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm lying in bed, asleep. There's this bang, which I assume was probably my car being hit off several cars and a wall. So yeah, woken up by the police at my bedroom door, running up my stairs in my house. I have no problem with the police. They were doing their job. A witness had seen this girl take the car and smash it into some other stuff and phoned it into the police. They, because she ran off, left the keys in the car, left it running and everything. Because she did that, they phoned the police. They said, they thought I was a drunk driver. And she'd left my front door open. So I sat there at 2 o'clock in the morning, people running up my stairs, banging and crashing, which, okay, they thought I was a drunk driver, obviously in a dangerous condition. I was so drunk that I'd run into the house. I hadn't even shut the door, and I'd just gone into bed. As far as the police were concerned, that's what had happened. At no point would they have been thinking, oh, it's a 14-year-old girl, So it's one of those things that I was petrified, absolutely petrified. Police were very nice. Like I say, I've got no problem with the police. They thought that I was very drunk. So when I opened my bedroom door, very nice policeman asked me where I had been that night. And I was like, in bed. And then he was saying about, had I been drinking? No. Luckily, I had the foresight, because I was looking after this young lady, that I put my dressing gown on and everything. So it was one of those things that at the end of it, it was like established that it wasn't me driving, that I hadn't been out that night, and you could tell I was in my dressing gown, and there was a lovely policewoman. She had run up the stairs as well, and she asked if there was anybody else in the house with me. And when I looked, that's when we realised that the young lady had gone, and that's when the police asked me to go and find my car keys. Stupidly, in hindsight's a wonderful thing, it was the one night I had decided to put my keys in my bag ready for the next morning, because I thought things had been going so well. So I put everything in my bag, my door keys, my front key, my car keys, my purse, ready for the morning, because she had to go to school. So when I got there, got to my bag, there was nothing in it, but there was my door keys. So she'd unlocked the front door, put the door keys back, and left them in my bag, but then taking the car keys, taking £20 out of my purse and gone. And they think that because I'd stayed up so late, that she decided that the only option to get away was to actually take the car. Doesn't make much sense to me. You're 14. At 14, I didn't think that I could drive my mum's car. It just didn't, probably because everybody's had that, oh yeah, let's sit on your dad's lap or your mum's lap or whatever as you drive around the car park, and they've got all the controls and you've got the steering wheel, and nothing like going down the motorway at 90 with your kid on your lap. Not anything like that, but just everybody at some point has had some kind of, oh, we'll let you drive. You're not really driving, you know. But at 14, I would have thought, oh, well, go and take a car. But it's not my mentality, because that's not my, I don't know, wasn't brought up like that. Yeah, thieves weren't tolerated. So, like I say, one of those things happened. Nothing I can do about it. My car's gone, hence why I'm sitting in my living room with my cup of coffee. Do I blame her? Obviously, very troubled young lady, and it's not something that's going to. I don't think it's not something that's going to trouble her, because it didn't affect her. She didn't get away with it. The police did find her and made sure that she was safe. The airbags hadn't gone off. I knew that she had been seen running away, so she wasn't hurt badly or anything like that, where it would have been like ambulances and that sort of thing. So I knew that she was off. The police found her at 2:00, sitting in a local McDonald's. So everything, she was fine. So didn't have to worry about that. I did everything I needed to do, that sort of thing. I think the thing that's got to me the most is that she got away with it. So although she took my car, she didn't just take my car. She took my independence. She took my means to be able to work. She took everything away from me. Come after a time of incredible, significant losses in my life, which I just within weeks of each other and within weeks of the incident. And it was a lot. The police phoned me, said that there was nothing they could do because it was just one of those things. 2:00 in the morning, it's dark. The witness couldn't probably see who it was. I mean, they thought it was me. I'm not 14. No, I know, I look young, but no. So it's one of those things, and yeah. So that's the sad story of my car. One of those things that's happened. We need to move on in life. It was very, very traumatic for me. And it took me a long time to get over the fact that there was people in my house late at night, early in the morning, if you like, that just weren't supposed to be there. If you had told me that that's what was going to happen, I'd be like, no, that's not one of those things that happens. So it's now been 8 weeks since that. As far as I know, everything's sorted out. I've still got no car. Walking everywhere, which as a single woman makes me feel very vulnerable. And it's one of those things that it has had a significant impact. I can't now go and see my friends. I can't now go and see and do a lot of the things I used to do. So I had an allotment. I haven't been able to go up there for months. All my plants that I'd been trying to grow and things, all gone. I don't even know what my allotment looks like. And that was one of the things that helped me regulate my emotions, because it was my allotment. It was, I don't have a garden. So it was my one chance to actually go out and pretend that I was a farmer, just have that time in nature, be able to go and sit in the middle of a field with other people that were in the middle of a field that had a toilet, That was the main thing for me, is the allotment had a toilet. So I could go and I didn't have to worry. It is in Croydon, which is very far from me. But I was 135th on the council list last time I looked. And I've been on it for about 3 years, so not really going to go there. It's not going to happen in my lifetime at this rate. So, but that's the background to everything, and why I've been, woken up at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning. I have no idea to tell you this, but it has triggered the start of a profound time in my life when I've had no other choice but to sit with myself. So I don't have the money because I now can't work, because the jobs that I was doing needed a car. I can't now work at the minute. That's not to say that I'm never working, and it's taken me a long time to get over this, and it's only now that I'm at a point where I can actually sort myself out, because I've had so much to do with the car, getting that sorted, trying to tell everybody that I wouldn't be earning any money because at that immediate time I couldn't work. I didn't have the means to get to work in what I'm trained at and what I've been doing. So it was like an emergency contingency plan. And now I'm at a point where I need to start getting myself back together. And also the fostering people wouldn't let me back to work. So that's kind of where I am now. At the minute, I've been hanging on and hanging on. It's been 2 months now. I've been hanging on, and fostering are just still don't have anything from fostering in way of compensation, because the girl took my car, and if she hadn't been in my care, if they hadn't placed her in my care, then I would be just the same as always. So I tried to get them to sort of understand that they were responsible in some way, surely. But no, all they've kept doing is fobbing me off. They did agree to pay my excess, but like I say, 2 months on, I don't have anything from them. I have no excess from them, which was £350. So I think I had some kind of deal on the first year. It was 150, and then I haven't realised, and the next year it's been 350. So it's one of those things. I know that you have to pay an excess. So I thought the least they could do is pay my excess, since they're not allowing me to work, and they're not allowing, that this would not have happened unless they had given that care of that young person to me. So I don't really think that I was suitable, but I did it, and it's been a learning curve. So let's go with that. And I have had nothing. So I'm now without a car. I've got no means of travel, getting to work and things. Yeah, I'm probably in a position now where I can start looking for maybe stuff within walking distance. I have been looking for stuff within walking distance. I'm not in a position to be able to buy another car. My car was brand new. Well, it was 2 years old. It was my pride and joy. It was the reason that I worked, apart from keeping a roof over my head, bills, and eating, which is kind of important. But they haven't given me anything. at all. The support has been atrocious. For caring services, I would say I'm quite angry at the way they have treated me. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's one of those things. I knew the risks with fostering. I knew that it wasn't always going to be plain sailing. Things had happened in the past where, things have been broken. That's why you have insurance. And I do have a lot of insurance on different things. It's just one of those things. I didn't expect my whole life to be ripped to shreds and no accountability from anybody. And I think that's the thing that has really upset me the most. Almost feeling like I'm being put on trial at times. I don't know what more I could have done for the young woman, the young lady. I honestly don't know. I haven't been doing it for long enough to have known that I did this wrong or that wrong. And it is such an extreme example. Everybody just goes, oh, that's really sad. And then I keep getting, oh, but, usually when the insurance company pays out, you'll get more money back and you'll be able to get another car. No, my car was an integral part of who I was. I know that sounds purely because it did give me my freedom. If I was having an off day, so like at my parents' passing, I went and sat by the sea. I can't do that here. There is nowhere I can go. I don't live in a green, leafy suburb with, I can just walk down to the seaside, whatever. It was a part of me that gave me that freedom. But there has been nothing back from social services. On a monetary value, I'm now in a position I can't get another car purely because at the minute I have no job. I have no source of income, which is a little bit, sorry. Ooh. Just something I will resolve, but the last 2 months have been really overwhelming. So yeah, that's where I am at the minute. I can't get, I don't know, my insurance is going to go through the roof because they class it as a fault claim because it wasn't another driver that hit me, which would be a non-fault claim. So that's going to affect my insurance. Whether I'll be able to afford that now, I don't know. Certainly not on a new car. Certainly not going to get anything that approaches my old car. And that's probably best because that was my car. It wasn't anybody else's. I'd had it from brand new. When I looked at the logbook and everything, I had it from 3 miles. And that was only because that's how they had to drive it off the ship or whatever, or to get it to the dealership or whatever it was. So yeah, it had 19,000, I think, on the clock. So it wasn't that old. But she walked away. No charges, nothing. Social services just bounced her on to the next person. Like I say, I don't blame her because there's reasons, etc. I have no animosity towards her. She did something really stupid. We've all done something really stupid at some point. The issue I have is that I am in a significantly worse place than before I took the placement on. I don't think I should have had the placement. I don't think I should even have been considered. But here we are. I'm not sure what else to do now, so I've decided that this time's got to be for me, and I'm going to drag everybody along with me. So at the minute, this just is not my year. So I've got really bad pain in my face. Been to doctor. It's a form of neuralgia. Doesn't look like that's going to be going away anytime soon. So I'm working on getting my fitness up. So I've decided that I am just going to put it all on YouTube, see how it goes. If you want to join me on my journey, that's up to you. I'm going to try and get some cooking done. If you want to join me, that's up to you. If you want to come with me on my early morning jogs that I don't do at the minute, that's up to you. You know, if this year has taught me anything, it's that you don't know what is round the corner. You don't know who's going to be knocking on your door at 2 o'clock in the morning. You don't know that this is the last time you might see someone. You just don't know. I have taken so much for granted so far, and I just think that I need to stop taking things for granted. In some ways, not that I always thought I was going to have my health, because well, I do kind of look after myself. I haven't been, especially with all this with my car and everything. I have not been eating properly, and that's starting to show. So physically, I have started going up the gym, and I thought the best way of accountability would be to drag everybody along with me. So, like I say, if you want to come along on this journey with me, that is entirely up to you. If not, just go. I'm not going to be worried about it. It's really just looking at life's a game, and I'm going to experience as much of it as I can for myself. I have spent so long being a wife, being a mother, being somebody's child, and all the things that come with that. It hasn't been the easiest for me. I've not had a chocolate box life, and thought that by this age I'd have managed to sort it out. No, it just keeps getting worse and worse. But there we go. At least I'm still here, which a lot of people are not. And a lot of people have left my life quite unexpectedly, and that's been a real wake-up call, especially this year. People that are my age suddenly being diagnosed with things, and then next thing, they're no longer with us. So every day I am grateful that I am here and that I can experience something else. That's not to say that I'm happy clappy, because I'm really not. It's just one of those things that maybe I need to be happy clappy. I don't know. But I just decided that I was gonna, if this neuralgia in my face is not something more serious, then that's fine. But the way this year's been going, I'm not hedging my bets. I'm not I'm hedging my bets. It's just one of those things. I don't think it wouldn't surprise me if it come back as this is something more serious. So I'm going to take as much time to do as much as I can to get over I think I'm over the shock of my car and everything going. My car, my independence, my life as I knew it has basically gone. Everything's basically gone, except for my house. And I really hope and pray that just stays for a while, because I do have a tent. So I suppose there is that option if it comes to it. But I'm not one of those people to sit back and just wallow. And I think that's something that social services hasn't quite taken on board, that I'm not going to just sit there. Probably because I'm a Leo and I'm just like that. Just like, nah. Okay, I'm going to take a while. I'm going to retreat. But now it's time to get back. And why not do it on YouTube? Why not? All my life I've been in the shadows and been told to shut up, and yeah, what the hell. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, that's what we're here. That's how this is going to start. Like I say, join me in my living room with a cup of coffee. Nice coffee. Because at least that's one pleasure that I wasn't dependent on. Although I'm getting really good with my little trolley, running up to Aldi and getting my coffee. So, and various bits of fruit and veg. So we'll see how things go. But yeah, that's my sad story. Well, one part of it. So we'll see how things go. And I'm just gonna post all the crap that I do because I don't live a normal life. So if you want to join me, you're more than welcome. I recently watched somebody say it's not the journey, it is the journey, it's not the destination. And I thought it was quite profound because he said, you know what the destination is, getting there is not any fun because you know what's there, and when you get there, that's exactly it, you've got it. But you don't know what's going to happen on the journey. And I've taken that to heart. So I've decided that actually, let's see what this journey's got in store for us. We know the end result. Change is inevitable. But let's see. Let's see what the journey's got in store for me. Who knows? This year's just been a year of who knows. Expect the unexpected. So, if I decide to go running, that's my next plan. I keep getting woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go running. I am not built for running, but I've been inspired by Depression Hates a Moving Target. Love that book. I've got it on my audiobooks, so need to go and listen to that. But yeah, until next time, stay positive and do what the fuck you like, because at the end of the day, we all come in, as my nan would say, we all come in the same way, we all go out the same way. So we know the destination. Let's see what the journey's got for us. So see you later with your coffee.